You asked for ways you can support a friend who's just experienced a miscarriage. A miscarriage is a heartbreaking loss that can leave someone feeling hurt, confused, grieving, or even angry. It's a heavy personal and emotional experience that often feels isolating. So, offering compassionate support can serve as a lifeline to someone who feels isolated in their pain. Here are three ways you can support your loved one who's experienced a miscarriage. Number one, be present physically or emotionally. Being present is one of the most meaningful ways to support a grieving friend. So, if you're able to stop by their house and hang out with them, or even invite them over for coffee, depending on what they're comfortable with, when you're together, just sit with them, listen, and even pray quietly. Miscarriage can feel incredibly isolating, especially if your friend hadn't had a chance to share the pregnancy news yet. That can make it even harder for them to talk about their grief. Your presence, whether in person or through a heartfelt text or call, can break through that loneliness. If being there in person is not possible, make sure to check in often. Send in a text like, "Hey, I'm thinking of you today," or calling them to say, "Hey, I'm just calling to check on you today," can mean so much. And when you do reach out, resist the urge to explain the loss or fix their pain, and definitely avoid trying to make them feel better by telling them to focus on the positive too soon, as this can come off as dismissive of their grief. In the last episode, I went over common phrases we often say to a grieving individual that can unintentionally harm or cause harm. I've included a link to that episode in the description below. So instead of trying to explain the grief, just acknowledge it with compassion by saying something like, "I'm so sorry for your loss. Please let me know what I can do to help you as you're going through this difficult time." Number two, provide practical support. Practical help can help lift some of the burden from your friend during this overwhelming time. If you're close to your friend, offer to stop by and help with household chores, watch their kids, or even cook a meal. Even taking the kids out for a while so your friend can have space to grieve, take a nap, or even attend a counseling session can make a world of difference. If you can't be there in person to provide practical support, but you still want to, you can still lighten the load by sending a gift card for groceries or meals, or even arranging for pizza delivery, especially if your friend has children. These small gestures can help her focus on grieving while still taking care of her family without feeling guilty. Number three, offer ongoing support. Grief doesn't have a timeline, and healing from a miscarriage can take months and even longer. So please continue to check in on your friend, even weeks or months later, and let your friend know that you haven't forgotten their loss. Small reminders of your care, like sending a card or a thoughtful message, can mean so much and can go a long way. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on future videos. And if you have a mental health question that you'd like answered both biblically and clinically, make sure to go on my website at www.kenzahaddock.com. There, scroll to the middle of the page and submit it anonymously, and I'll be sure to answer it in the next couple of weeks. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.